So good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah LaTourrette, and I am currently the state representative for the 76th House District. So if you live in the northern strip of Portage County, you're in my district. So Aurora, Hiram, Garrettsville, Shalersville, Windham, Freedom, Manway, I think I named them all, but basically the northern tier of Portage County, you would be in my district. I'm serving my first term in the House, and actually I'm serving my first term in public office. I want to spend my time today telling you a little bit about myself and also a little bit about what I've accomplished in my first term. So I was born and raised in Northeast Ohio. I was actually born in Madison, Ohio, which is over in Lane County. I currently live in Chester Township with my husband Scott, our almost 6-month-old son Matthew, 3 rescue dogs, 2 rescue cats, and actually my mother-in-law Mary, who's here today, is living with us right now as well through the election. So as you can see, we have a pretty full house right now. I graduated from Miami University in 2006 with a double major in political science and history. And after college, I worked in politics for a few years before I decided to make the leap over to the nonprofit world, which is where I've spent the rest of my working career. I worked for an organization that was dedicated to helping people with Parkinson's disease and their care partners. And then most recently, I worked for an organization called Adoption Network Cleveland, which is focused in the adoption community, but also in large part with foster youth, which is very much a passion of mine. So my first term has been incredibly exciting, and I think I've accomplished a lot in a short amount of time. I currently serve on 4 standing committees. I serve on agriculture and rural development, health and aging, state government, and insurance. Earlier in the term, the speaker, Cliff Rosenberger, actually appointed me to serve as vice chair of our insurance committee, and then here recently, in the spring, actually about 2 weeks after Matthew was born, I was voted into House leadership, and I'm currently serving as the Assistant Majority Whip. Just 6 months after taking office, I had my first bill signed into law. House Bill 6, which Senator Eklund actually mentioned, increased the statute of limitations on cases of rape and sexual battery. So you're likely familiar with the backlog of rape kits in the state, and as we were waiting for many of these kits to get tested, a lot of cases had the potential to begin timing out. So House Bill 6 aimed to fix that issue, and I wouldn't have been nearly as successful in that effort if it weren't for my counterpart in the Senate, Senator John Eklund. I introduced another bill earlier this year that was aimed at the opioid epidemic. House Bill 421 grants pharmacists the permission to administer certain injectable medications. So this bill specifically targets medications used to address the mental health crisis and the drug epidemic. And I'm thrilled to say that that bill was actually added as an amendment to another bill in the Senate that was voted out today. So I'm hopeful that you'll also see that bill take effect before the end of this General Assembly. I'm also a co-sponsor of the Heartbeat Bill, and I'm a primary sponsor of the Down Syndrome Non-Discrimination Act, a bill that seeks to outlaw abortion based solely on a potential Down syndrome diagnosis. Currently, upwards of 90% of pregnancies are being terminated upon receiving this potential diagnosis. I'm endorsed by the NRA, Buckeye Firearms, Ohio Right to Life, Ohio Farm Bureau, NFIB, many more organizations, and I was actually named one of the top 10 liberty-minded legislators in Ohio by the Republican Liberty Caucus of Ohio earlier this year. I've represented your views well in Columbus over the past year and a half, and I intend to continue to do that when I'm reelected, hopefully reelected. So if you have any questions about me or my candidacy, whether you live in my district or not, I strongly encourage you to reach out to me. That's my job, to answer your questions, and it's a job that I take very seriously. So I really appreciate the invitation to be here today. I'm going to try to keep under my 5 minutes. And I look forward to answering any questions you guys might have when we wrap up today. So thank you very much.